Let's record. Are you ready? Please don't laugh at my head. Hopefully Fitty does not attack while I know what we're doing here. I don't know what he's gonna do. No, please don't play with that. What's up, turds, nerds, freaks, and geeks, and all in between? It's me, your girl, Daisy Dame. Welcome back to my channel. I'm genuinely blessed to have you here, and I really do appreciate it. And thank you especially to my members, because I genuinely could not do this without you. Today I wanted to discuss the anti-hero, the anti-hero and generational curses, because I've been seeing a lot about these two things, and when a pattern repeats too much, then you guys know it's time to look into it. Here we go. As stated, anti-hero is a term that we're hearing a lot lately, just like when the word narcissistic popped up, or parasocial relationship. We heard this one come up a whole lot too, and I thought, that's interesting. And a lot of people were discussing it, and a lot of people were like, no thank you. And I just thought that was curious as well. Anti-hero is a term that we're seeing a lot lately. It's even been used by T-Swizzle, that's Taylor Swift, in her new video and album. But what does this term mean? And why all of a sudden is the anti-hero what's pushed? Let's define it and deep dive it, okay? Because I am curious. So put on your boots and jacket. We are going spelunking into this topic. And thank you for coming to your very own deprogramming session. Another one we heard a lot recently is main character syndrome. What is this? It's when a person thinks that they are the star, the center of the universe, and all is always about them, or that their life is just so amazing, I guess, or exceptional, that people should see them in some type of light. It's interesting, it's curious, but it's what we've heard a lot about recently. There's reasons for that, and we're gonna go into why that is. Speaking of like characters in a story, you guys know that we talk about NPCs and side quests and side characters. What are NPCs? Non-playable characters. For you non-gamers, we see the main character of the story, yet this one is not fascinating, they're not a good person, they lack heroic attributes and qualities, and this is what makes them the anti-hero. And honestly, it's quite fitting for the times that we're in. It makes sense. I want you to consider how Disney and others have been setting this up for quite a while. Think about it with your brain, right? With your brain piece. Yeah, use that, okay? And now let's think about it. All of a sudden, Disney started focusing on their villains and their past lives and what had happened and what got them to the point of being a villain. Why is that? Gee, it seemed like the first step to the anti-hero. They're making the villain the good guy, or the one that you should relate to. Why would they want you to relate with someone who's been through trauma and likes tragedy? And I know that most of us have been through that. I know most of us have traumas. I just see this as a bit of glorification of that. Whether people would agree with that or not, that's okay. You're allowed to think for yourself, believe it or not. Hello, Finley. How you doing? Sweet Lord. He's gonna attack me, but we're gonna try our best. Give me love. I don't want to hurt you. Okay, owie, owie, mister. I have all these little bites now because of you. Disney has been, in a way, setting this up for a while, and it's curious. It's interesting, and it's been happening, like I said, for a bit. Oops, you're falling. Oops. So, yeah, it's curious. They wanted us to focus and center on the villains. It explains their life beforehand, and it leaves people feeling conflicted. Who are they meant to root for? And if they root for the villain, does that then make them a bad person? As I stated, we've all been through things. We all have our life story. We've all been through things and traumas. And since I've had PTSD, I'm allowed to joke about it. Honestly, though, I am just trying to make light of this topic because some of these topics get really heavy. It's just like when Euphoria came out, I just keep seeing this pattern of glorification, and I don't care if people are like, oh, it's so good. I don't care if it was so great. It's like the movie 13. It used to be one of my favorite movies. When I look back at it, I'm like, dang, how did that affect my life? How did I behave because of that movie? How did that influence me to act as a child. And I don't mean to be rude here, but I don't give a rat's boot about what happened in Cruella de Vil's childhood that made her this way. She took the innocent lives of puppies, right? So what do we care? Cruella maybe should have done some growing and some healing and some work instead of being a vengeful, forgiveness, love. That's true power. Should we be really looking up to these characters? Should they truly become the anti-hero? Because that's what they're doing. And that's the archetype they want you to follow and admire. Essentially, they're telling you, yes, it's okay, you're broken and traumatized for life, but hey, in my opinion, this is the people in power, the controllers, the, people in the shadowy, hiding in the shadows, those type of peoples, okay? This is their way of getting you to knowingly or unknowingly participate in their awful behaviors. Do you really want to do that? It's ways of getting you to recreate these behaviors. The way that movies, music, and media has gone, many who are youthful do not believe that they'll even make it to their 30s. And this is actually a huge problem right now because we're losing so many of our youth to horrible things, because they don't think they'll make it to their 30s. And if they do, what's the point, right? Some of them really feel this way. And then when they do eventually get to their 30s, and a lot of them do, they don't have a plan for the future because they were acting in the moment like they were encouraged to do. They were going out all night. They were partying. They were, doing that thing. This is the type of encouragement that we're being told. This is the type of behaviors they want you to emulate. This is the type of environment that they're trying to create. This is the type of world that they want to live in because they live in it already. They're used to it and they just want to be comfortable being themselves. So they have to have everybody get down to their nasty level, and you don't have to do that. Why? Because you have a brain that works. Just consider this. We throw in a dash of mental illness, and there we go. Mental illness and having afflictions or depression, these can be a very lethal combo. And I don't mean that lightly. No jokes about that part, no giggles. I believe in my heart that we can be the hero of our stories, and we don't have to be the anti-hero. You don't have to be the main character who gets vengeance and revenge, like Slay Bill, right? Things like that. I know that's not the way to say it, but you know what I'm saying. That's what they want us to emulate. That it blows my mind. I mean, think about it. Look at what's coming out with not only the Purge series, how that went, American Horror Story, Black Mirror didn't even continue because they knew it was too obvious what they were doing. Westworld, they're showing you exactly where they want us to go, hurting the cattle. So if you feel as though, life ain't worth much, it's pointless, then you're not going to do things like take care of yourselves, get a job, prepare for the future, any of it. And that's not helpful at all. Should it be a controversial thing to be a good person? Should it be so controversial to want to live a good life? What if these modern day anti-heroes in the end did have a greater purpose? Maybe in their non-perfect way, they keep telling us it's the hero that we need, but not the one that we want, right? Again, let's look back to childhood, and it's the hero that we needed, but not the one we want. Why? Because they came in looking like demons. Okay, I just keep thinking about that. So let's just consider, we've spoken about generational curses, but for giggles, let's go back over and define that too. It is a pattern or behavior that has been passed from one generation to another. And a lot of this is nature versus nurture, and you'll know that, and I know that because I went to school for psych and social. And oftentimes, as it would seem to be, it starts in the home. As for the Bible, how does the Bible define generational curses? As for the Bible, the generational curse is a cumulative effect on a person of their ancestors' actions. So a prior family member's actions, whether they had betrayed the family, whether they misbehaved. There's a few things that could cause this. So this type of belief is actually found in many cultures where you could essentially get your ancestors' misdeeds and have to make up for them. Another thing that I really wanted to point out is most associate blessings with whether you're rich, you have a good life, and you have all your material possessions. They see that as blessings. or being poor and not having many things, they see that as a curse. And that's not always so. Actually, being blessed simply means that one has been recognized and accepted by God. That's what being blessed means. Blessings may attract riches, but that is no measure of God's blessing. And let it be known that curses can happen when things are done deliberately to harm or trigger someone, like as if someone knows that this is going to upset somebody and they do it, then thus they make it a curse. Because evil deeds like this provoke God's wrath. And now, in this part, I want to go over 5 different types of generational curses that we can find through biblical lore and the Bible. I find this to be important and it needs to be included. So I'm going to add that here. Now that we've gone over 5 different generational curses, I wanted to discuss a little bit more and then I'll let you guys go. But I really, really appreciate you hanging out with me just for that little bit. It means a lot. Jacob of Israel was on his stream, and it just so happened to be that he too is discussing the anti-hero, which I found so interesting, so curious. We always seem to be in step with one another, and that encourages me to know that I'm on the right path because others are seeing it too, and I'm not alone, right? I'm not bonkers for thinking or seeing these things, and neither are you. So I got the notification late, so I only caught like the middle to the end of the stream, but I came into the part where they were discussing right before the anti-hero, which I thought that's so wild, right? And let's discuss the anti-hero. We see this with Wakanda, Black Panther in this movie. We see it with Black Adam. We see it with Kanye. We see it with Taylor Swift in this new album. We're seeing this archetype being the one that's pushed and saying, hey, this is what we want you to emulate. This is the type of person you need to be. People have done you wrong, so now you need to burn it all down. Do you? Or can you burn it down by forgiving and saying, I love you? Would that really be the solution, maybe? Some repeating factors that Jacob pointed out was that Rome too keeps coming up, as well as Egypt, of course, because they too are so closely tied into this. And as stated by Jacob as well, Rome had the type of Bible where they wanted you to truly fear God. It was a hateful, spiteful, angry, scary version of God. And this is just not so. Another thing that was discussed right quick was Mars being in retrograde. What does that mean? Retrograde means moving backwards. What we see in the world today is truly moving backwards. And isn't Trump as well an anti-hero? Couldn't we consider Trump one as well? Another great point that Jacob made is that a spirit is a thought. It is not like some scary creature, right? Or like some wisp in the air or so on and so forth. A spirit are thoughts. That's what spirit is. It's your thoughts, right? Okay, so believe it or not, every word that comes into your thoughts are not from you. Weird, I know, right? Sometimes my thoughts are super mean to me, but I love me. I don't want her to talk to me that way. So where does it come from? Outside of myself, because I don't treat myself that way. So where is it from, right? Just consider this. Every spirit that does not confess that Christ will come in the flesh, they are bad. You need to watch. Essentially they say, watch your thoughts, because you know that some of them are not from you. Why is that? Because your mind is influenced by outside things, okay? And this is wild to me because recently, I didn't tell anybody this either. I think I've only told my mother. But recently I had a meditation. You guys know I try to meditate every single day for at least a half an hour, because that's that little bit of me time to keep my sanity and to keep my composure and to keep my silly little self being me, okay? That's my me time. I have a son who's very energetic. I need time. Okay, let's go on. So what I heard in my meditation, to me, it seems like a growl, like a demon, like a dark voice that was very hoarse telling me, have you come? Have you given up? Do you want to wish to me? Like, what wishes do you have for me? And I felt it in my heart. This is a deceiver. This is the devil saying, are you so broken now? Have I broken you enough? Has your spirit been destroyed to the point where you need me? What wishes can I grant for you? And I thought, I got no wishes. I pray. That's what I do. And I said, the only light that will ever save me is God's light, and I will never wish for nothing from you. And you know what I did? In that meditation, I saw the white light open up and hold me so close and say, yes, That's right. I got you. And I just found it interesting because in my meditation, I mean, it's pretty bang on sometimes. I can't deny that. Another random point that I want to throw in here is in the song that Taylor Swift has made about being the anti-hero. There is a lyric that says, she believes all people to be sassy babies, and she is the monster. Why are you out here calling everybody sassy babies, dude? What? And now people are going to be singing this? Oh my god. Oh my gosh. That's why you have to be careful what music you listen to. It's in your brain. I don't care, Taylor. I don't care if people are like, that's the celeb you look most like, or Emma Roberts. I don't give a rat's boo anymore. That's nasty. I defended you before. I can't. It's nasty. The anti-hero is anti-love. The anti-hero is not the hero, right? They don't have those attributes. And love is indeed the answer. We love all, even those who trespass against us. It's important. It is important. Hate will be and is a toxic-filled soul. It is no way to live. It will eat you from the inside out. It will eat you alive. People turn into heathens. They let that darkness in. They have no morals, no compass to guide them. It is no way to live. It is lonely. It is a dark, sad, scary place. God has taken his only son and placed him within you. Herein is love. God is love. Not that we loved God, but that God loved us. The Christ in you is the hope and the glory. Everyone needs to look inward to their souls and into their hearts for answers, not outward. Remember that part. If anything from this video, please remember that part. Ask questions inwardly and don't seek for the worldly pleasures. It won't fill that void in your soul, that God-sized void in your heart. As he is, so are we, which is love. Someone who lays their life down for another. There is no fear in love, and I teach you all the time, I tell you all the time, we don't need to have fear. We can look for solutions because there is no fear in love, because the fear is cast out by the light of that love. If someone says they love one person and hate another, then they are a liar, because love cannot exist when hate does too. One of the last things I want to say is obviously Kanye is clearly at it again. And so is Finley. Finley! Let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know what you think about the anti-hero. Have you heard about it lately? What do you think about it? Comment down below. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much to my members. You are the coal that makes this train roll, and I genuinely could not do it without you. Please do check out my other social media, like Twitch, DameDaisy Plays, TikTok, where we just hit 15K. Oh my goodness. That's so amazing. Thank you. Like, what? So crazy. I just feel amazed. I'm in awe. So thank you for that. If you haven't checked out my TikTok and you have one, why not go check me out, modmaggieart. And I'm also on Snap, modmaggieart, as well as Insta, Twitter, Facebook, DameVonBonDaisy, and YouTube, of course. And you guys can check out the memberships down below for as low as $2 holla. If you can help 1 month and not the next, I totally understand. More than anybody right now, times are hard, so do what you can. There's even a give thanks button down below. I've seen you guys start using that, and I'm like so blessed. Thank you so much. I know my members know, but and most people won't make it to this part of the video anyway, so it's okay. I didn't get paid for the last 2 months, and was in the gallery, so I just lost like all my income at once. So that's what I mean about the devil trying to break us. I'm not going to be deterred. I'm not going to be, put down by that. I'm just going to try harder. When you can, do what you can, for the creators that you really appreciate. Always take care of yourselves and your families first, because that's what matters most. When you're taking care of you, that makes you happy, that makes me happy. That's the right thing. But when you're able to, you can try out the give thanks, or maybe even help me out by being a member for a month. Right now, any money that I'm getting from that is being set aside so that I can get the gallery, so that I can at least go back to teaching my students, because I miss them a lot, and the disruption in their routine is hard on them. it's frustrating. It's frustrating that I feel like it's all out of my hands right now, and I'm just trying to do everything I can. So I always find a way. I know I will sort it out. Stay awake, stay aware, stay well. Thank you for coming to your very own deprogramming session, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Oh, and don't forget to go over and check out Jacob of Israel's channel, please. Thank you.